the Facebook workshop on getting started with social media. So there's been a lot of talk about social media prior to this session, and we have Simrat Sani from Facebook here to work this session. And just a bit about her. Riding the digital revolution as a part of Facebook's APAC team, Simrat is currently responsible for account management and strengthening client partnerships for Facebook in the India market. This entails advising clients on their digital marketing strategy and engagement strategy using Facebook's marketing and media solutions. So for this session, ladies and gentlemen, Simrat won't be taking any live questions, but what we will do is we will request that you write it down on a piece of paper along with your email address and hand it over. You can hand it over to me, and I'll hand it over to Simrat, and she will answer them. Alternatively, you can just maybe pass her your business card, your visiting card, and she can answer those questions. So, without further ado, Simrat, welcome, and it's great to see another woman up here besides myself. So please give her a round of applause. So can I just get someone from tech over here to switch laptops? She's going to use her own.
So I'm really glad to be here. I'm Simrat from Facebook. I lead account management for Indian e-commerce companies at Facebook. And as I was introduced earlier, and I've been going through all the sessions, it's a very exciting time for e-retail in India, and I'm experiencing a lot of things firsthand, talking to a lot of the people who are either in the audience, either whose companies are represented, or other e-commerce players that I work with, in terms of challenges, some of the opportunities that you all face, and how you are using online channels for marketing, for customer acquisition, so on and so forth. So of course, Kedar mentioned there's a lot of overlap between social media and e-commerce, and I have a lot of stats as well. But I want to just get a show of hands from the audience about how many of you use Facebook or any social networking site for your business, whether it's having a page or advertising. That's a lot of you. And I kind of expected that. So what I'm going to do in the next 30 to 40 minutes is walk you through some of the ways in which you can leverage Facebook for growing your business online. Now, you all already know about the online shopping space. There are a lot of people who actually shop online don't start with the idea of exactly what they want to buy. A lot of people are out there discovering things, browsing the internet, being inspired either by friends or by blogs, social networking sites, etc. Only about 20% of the people start with a clear intent of what they want to buy. So search is a very effective marketing mechanism, but it is limited to this set of audience that starts with the intent of what they want to buy. If you want to go out to a larger set of people and reach out to the audiences who are still in the discovery stage, you kind of have to be a part of that consideration set when they are browsing the internet. That's when social media becomes all the more important. A lot of people start narrowing their discovery process, their browsing process to their personal network, as a lot of the information set starts to increase. So about 50% of Facebook users have said that they are generally inspired by friends, by family, by their social network when they're making an online purchase. So that really makes Facebook as a very, very critical channel for you to grow your business. What makes it even more critical is that Facebook is where people are spending most of their time online. Now, if you see the graph that is up there on the screen, I'm not sure how clear it is. That put together, even with Google including YouTube, which you would consider people actually viewing lots of videos online, spending a lot of time going through random, all kinds of comedy things, even then, Facebook is where people are spending more time, and it's actually increasing every day. The number of Facebook users are increasing every day, the time spent on Facebook is increasing every day. Now that's, of course, you all know you spend time on Facebook, and that's not a big deal. What makes it a bigger deal is that a lot of your shoppers are already on Facebook. So if I take an example, just Flipkart, use it as a proxy for the e-com space in India. In the month of November, this is Comscore data, similar to what Kedar was actually pointing to. Flipkart had about 10.9 million visitors. Facebook had 65 million. there was about a greater than 95% overlap between Facebook and Flipkart's visitors. That's true for every e-commerce company out there. In India, more so than in the rest of the world, the overlap between e-commerce companies and social networking sites is generally larger than 90%. So what can you do to actually leverage this massive sheer reach that Facebook has to offer? You can use the rich targeting capabilities, both for organic and paid reach. And also, throughout the workshop, I'm going to spend time talking about both organic and paid. It's not only an advertising workshop, it's actually going to talk you through what you can do before you even go onto the paid stage. Targeted reach is probably the largest advantage of using Facebook. For those of you who have already been doing advertising on Facebook, you're probably aware of the very rich micro-targeting capability that Facebook offers. Just because Facebook is built on the unique, authentic identity of every user, there is a lot of information that can be used in aggregate to identify people who would actually like your brand. So when you use broad targeting, or whether you use very, very precise targeting, generally advertisers have seen cost savings between 20 to 70% using Facebook versus other online channels. So let's see how you can then get into the Facebook space. What can you do to connect with your target audience? Newsfeed, which is the first thing you see when you log on to Facebook. This is your home screen. This is where you see stories from your friends, your family, all the other pages that you like. This is where people stay connected with brands wherever they are. Newsfeed is where there is a 40 to 150% more likelihood of people engaging with branded content. A lot of brands think they're putting a post out there and then people are just going to come to their page and engage with it. That actually doesn't happen. People don't specifically go to brand pages. They consume branded content in their newsfeed. So you have to invest in your content strategy, both organically and, of course, boosting some of those posts that do really well so that you can get more time in people's newsfeed. As you see, newsfeed is a pretty big space, but your brand can be in the center of this engagement with more real estate than other publishers, whether it is in the form of advertising or it is in the form of organic posts. So if you just compare it to a standard right-hand side banner on other online channels, just a newsfeed post gives you about 2x the real estate. Again, this can be free. This could just be your page post from newsfeed, from your page, or you could have boosted it with a page post ad. Moving on to the mobile side, and everybody has been talking about mobile commerce, how mobile is the next big wave. The only way you can actually reach out to audiences on mobile is using mobile ads, generally off Facebook, and that ad is about the size of 1/10 the screen. On Facebook, your page post is a full screen of the mobile. Again, paid or organic. So this is really, really compelling, and this is why you need to be talking to your customers, to your target audience on Facebook. So how does it all start? It starts with your Facebook page. It is the mission control of your business. It is where you get to talk to your customers, you get to express your brand identity, what is different about you versus other similar e-commerce operations, use it as a customer service channel, use it in a personalized approach, and then, of course, to harness the power of newsfeed. This is probably the fundamental, most basic thing that you need to get right in terms of your content and your fan acquisition strategy. Now I'm going to move on to a purely free organic piece of Facebook. This is integrating your website, your e-commerce operation with Facebook using social plugins. Doesn't cost anything, but when done right, it actually helps you reap a lot of benefits, very good ROI. So you are aware of buttons like the like button, share button, recommendation button. You can get users to actually log in with Facebook. There are numerous social plugins out there and integrations that you can use to make the shopping experience richer and, of course, make it more integrated with Facebook. Fab.com, I don't know how many of you are aware of Fab.com, just a show of hands. So it's actually quite the poster child of e-commerce success story in the US for 2012. And what they've done, they've actually very tightly integrated with Facebook. From basic social plugins all the way to what we call open graph actions, which is when anybody takes an action on your website, a story is generated on Facebook. Of course, only if they've given you a permission. And they felt that just tightly integrating their entire e-commerce operation with Facebook has helped them get about four times the visits that come from other channels. So basically, anytime anyone is interacted with a Facebook plugin on their website, it generates 4 clicks back to their website. That's phenomenal without actually having to buy any media, without doing any advertising. This is not paid. You could then boost those stories with paid media. So for example, I'm on Myntra.com. I like a product on Myntra. Now that story will reach out to some of my friends in their newsfeed. As more and more people start interacting with your social plugins, you could start boosting those stories with paid media so that even more people see those stories and that content goes viral. And when it's coming from a user rather than from a brand, it's a lot more credible, it's a lot more authentic. So here you are not saying, oh, come visit Myntra or come visit Fab.com. You're saying your friend was on Myntra or on Fab. That's just so much more credible when you're talking to customers and helps build your brand awareness. Then enable your customers to share their purchases. You should be proud when someone buys something from you. Allow them to share that with the world, to share them with their friends' network on Facebook. It's a simple plugin. Just allow them to share their activity, give them the option to publish their actions on Facebook so that it again generates a story in their friends' newsfeed. Once again, you can boost that story with paid media to get even more virality, but this is something you could start with organically at first. A lot of new businesses, e-commerce ventures around the world have actually started with tight integration with Facebook. They are what we call social by design. A lot of businesses have just started with the sheer notion of Facebook Connect. They haven't even built a sign-up page. It's only based on a Facebook login, very tightly integrated from the main website to the product pages all the way to the final checkout page, integrated with Facebook in a manner that every action that a user is taking on your website is actually getting visibility in their friends' network on Facebook. So there are lots of best practices around that, a lot of resources that are available, and I'm happy to talk to you after the session if you'd like. Now I'll move on to how you can then leverage some of the advertising and marketing solutions on Facebook that are geared specifically towards e-commerce companies. So it's about developing an end-to-end Facebook marketing strategy. First up, one just has to be conscious of the fact that Facebook or social media in general is separate from all other online channels. You cannot just club it all together in one team, one person who's running search, display, Facebook, Pinterest, everything for you. It's fundamentally different, the way it works, the approach. So your marketing approach has to be different as well. People are not there searching for products. They are there connecting with things they like and people they like. So you want to be in their personal space, you have to do it in a more personalized approach as well. So Facebook can help e-commerce players throughout the customer life cycle. Of course, all your companies must be at a different stage in their maturity phase. Some of you are still in the phase of acquiring traffic, just generating new customers. Then the second stage is where you just want to grow those online sales, make it a more sustainable business. And finally, the topic of loyalty that has been touched upon a few times today. And it still doesn't really exist. Not only in India, there is no concept of loyalty in e-commerce by and large globally. It's starting to happen, but what are the right ways that you can use Facebook to do that? So I'm going to just take this stage by stage. The very first stage, acquiring new customers. Very, very basic. If you're just getting started with Facebook, you can buy standard right-hand side ads that drive off-site. This is the most impactful way to drive traffic to your website. Use good imagery. Try to have your copy be very succinct, but still call out the unique value proposition of your brand, your products that you're selling, and why people should go to your website. Every time I'm in India, I look at my right-hand side, it's generally e-commerce companies. But they all look very similar to me. They all have either a shoe there or a jacket there. I could be clicking on either of them, and they could be just any brand. I think what is really important is trying to stand out in that space even, because you're competing in a very, very competitive marketplace. So driving ads offsite, this is where you can basically start at the very basic level. Then going to the next stage is using Facebook offers. This was a product that was designed specially for retailers and e-commerce sites. It is inherently a viral product. So this is something that every e-commerce player should consider using at some point. Obviously, you run sales on your website, you do promotions. Using that on Facebook is that much more powerful because of the claim story that it generates. So every time someone claims an offer on Facebook, it generates a story in their friend's newsfeed saying so-and-so claimed an offer. This is the most viral page post that exists on Facebook. If you've ever run a Facebook offer and if you go into your Facebook insights to see the virality of your posts, a Facebook offer post will far shoot in terms of virality versus anything else you've ever run. So that really is a very powerful way to, again, get new customers and drive sales. You can use very precise targeting, you can get much greater reach, and it's very cost effective. I think earlier this morning, Mark actually mentioned Coastal.com. I was really glad he mentioned that because it is a very interesting case study. Coastal.com, this site that sells eyewear in the US, they started driving conversion using an offer where there was a first pair, so the first pair was free. And 60% of the ads were delivered in the newsfeed. They got 3 times higher conversion versus other platforms by just running a Facebook offer. Going forward, they ran 2 or 3 of these campaigns, similar campaigns with just some minor tweaks to the idea. And they just felt that their entire sales strategy changed in the months that they started using Facebook offers. So it's a very powerful tool. A lot of e-commerce companies are doing that already in India, but there is still a lot of scope to do it better. Then we've been talking about mobile commerce all day. We've been talking about shopping apps, how everything is happening on the mobile, and that's true. It is happening on the mobile. About 65% of India's Facebook users are actually accessing Facebook on mobile. Probably even more true for just generic websites. So if you are thinking of building an app or you already have a shopping app, use the mobile app install ad. It allows users to install your shopping application directly within Facebook. So they don't even have to leave the Facebook page. You will just be allowing them to download the app either from the iOS store or from the Android Google Play Store. How many of you have shopping apps? So just a few of you right now, but I think this is something that a lot of companies are starting to think about. A lot of businesses are starting with a mobile shopping app. So something you want to keep in mind as you start transitioning your business over to the mobile side. Finally, if you're at a very mature level of advertising on Facebook, or you just want a blast campaign, you want to acquire a lot of customers, you want to get a lot of traffic, then you run a logout ad. A logout ad is the biggest video unit on the internet. So this is when you log out of Facebook, and you must be seeing a lot of them these days because there's a flurry of logout ads in India for the past 2 months. This is a very engaging ad unit. Very compelling, both for driving traffic to your website or for brand awareness, depending on what type of a logout ad you run. So it is obviously a blast reach product, allows you to reach millions of users in one day, and then allows you to build up traffic, acquire new customers, or drive sales, whatever your objective is. Just in the last 3 weeks, a couple of e-commerce companies who've run logout ads in India have actually reported 5x, 4x ROI versus Facebook ads, versus even their regular Facebook advertising. One of my clients actually told me that this has been the most phenomenal ad unit on Facebook for acquiring new traffic. Generally, when they were running any kind of online marketing campaign, they were not being able to acquire a lot of new customers. They were getting a lot of repeat customers, but they weren't able to generate new leads. Running a logout ad just changed that overnight for them, and they just started investing more and more in this blast reach strategy. So with this, I'm going to move into an India case study. I did mention Myntra earlier. It is obviously one of the largest e-commerce players in India, has been advertising on Facebook and building its marketing base on Facebook for a very long time. And what they do really well is that they use the different marketing solutions in a very integrated fashion. So they use ads with social context. A lot of their ads driving off-site are very well designed. They do a lot of targeting to friends of fans, and then they use specific offers and promotions for Facebook fans only. And they actually went on to report that about 25% of their sales were directly attributable to Facebook. This is just based on their last click attribution. If we go into the entire tracking methodology of actually attributing more to different channels online, that number could actually rise considerably. Then moving to Fab.com in the US, 33% of their new visits come from Facebook. They've seen a 2x increase in direct traffic from Facebook, and about 50% of their customers actually log in using Facebook. This is probably the most compelling story for e-commerce I have seen when using Facebook in the right manner, both for organic as well as paid reach. They've just built a phenomenal business just integrating well with Facebook. Moving on to stage 2. Now you want to grow your online sales. You want to build a more sustainable base for your sales. Newsfeed, we are back to the most engaging place on Facebook. This is where there is about 8 times higher engagement. Re-engage your customers. There are people out there who are already talking about your brand or want to talk about your brand. So why don't you then talk to them in a fashion that is personalized? Now, Newsfeed is very personal. It's my personal space. I don't want anyone intruding into it. It's where I'm seeing what my friends are posting, what my family is posting. The only brands I will allow into my private space is those who are talking to me in a relevant manner. If you post an image which is just hard, crass advertising, a recycled banner image or a recycled mailer, that is going to turn me off, and I'm going to mark you as spam and never let you into my newsfeed again. But if you see this e-commerce site, this is an example from Australia. It's a very personalized picture. It's like the kind of picture my friends would post. So an image above this could be my friend's post, and then this is far more personalized, not a studio shoot. What we say is shoot for the channel. Shoot in a more personalized manner. Shoot using your mobile phone. Just make it personalized, make it conversational, so that your posts don't sound overly commercial and yet make a very, very relevant point. One other best practice to keep in mind, both for organic as well as paid posts, is to always use very, very short copy in the text. Don't write a whole story about your brand. Make it very to the point. Generally try and include pricing information, because that will allow you to drive qualified traffic to your website. If you're actually boosting this with paid media and you're paying on a CPC basis, you don't want clicks that don't generate sales for you. So if you put your price out there, generally people will only go to that site if they are willing to pay that price. So this is a very, very good way of then growing sales. How will you make this content more relevant to someone's newsfeed? Using the targeting capabilities. You're already aware that you can target obviously based on demographics like age and location, but you can do a lot of psychographic targeting. Try and target users based on their interests, based on other brands that they might like, categories and interest categories and brand categories, and that will allow you to be more relevant to them. 2 new targeting capabilities, probably for a more mature stage in your marketing strategy, is using real-time bidding, retargeting using Facebook Exchange, and custom audiences. So I'll briefly walk you through that as well. How many of you use ad exchanges? Maybe not Facebook ad exchange, but some ad exchange for real-time bidding. Nobody. That's really interesting. Okay, which ad exchanges do you use? Okay, so AdSense is probably one of the big ones. I do know that some of the big e-com players in India use ad exchanges, and this was one of the things they really wanted Facebook to come up with. Now Facebook has an ad exchange. What does this allow you to do? You already know so much about the people who are visiting your website, but very often one common problem in e-commerce is people don't go through with an entire transaction. There's a lot of shopping cart abandonment. Now you can retarget those people on Facebook. If they've already been on your website, they added a pair of jeans to their shopping cart, retarget them on Facebook. Try and get them back to Facebook. Use those standard ads by working with a DSP partner to help you get onto the Facebook ad exchange. If you don't want to work with a third-party partner but still want to kind of retarget people or use your customer data, use custom audiences. Everything you've done on Facebook so far is very, very micro-targeted, but it still allows you to reach the type of people you want to reach. With custom audiences, you can reach specific people you want to reach in a very, very private and secure manner. So what you can do, already have a database. You have phone numbers, you have email addresses, you probably have Facebook UIDs if you're using Facebook login. Now you can aggregate this data, slice and dice it into different clusters. Target people who've shopped with you in the last 6 months but did not return in the last 3 months. Target people who have never shopped with you. So exclude all your existing customers and just reach out to new customers. Based on your objective, use your existing data. You already have very rich data, and Facebook allows you to use it, map it with Facebook data without Facebook receiving any of your confidential data. But then it allows you to be very much more relevant to people that you're talking to on Facebook. Another Indian e-commerce success story. Yepme, which is a private label e-commerce site some of you would be familiar with, they've been doing tremendously well with newsfeed ads. It has helped them drive 125% higher conversions and a 4.5x ROI. They now spend 80% of their entire marketing budget on Facebook. Obviously, they've done something right. They've managed to find the secret sauce. It might be different for you, but try and experiment. What they do really well is they experiment with any new marketing solution that comes out on Facebook. They are very early adopters of Facebook solutions. They were one of the earliest adopters of newsfeed ads in India. And they've just found phenomenal success in doing that in the right manner. So they started with a very right way. They built a very strong fan base, about 1.7 million people, but in a very qualified manner. And now they are leveraging that fan base. They're not just letting it sit idle. They are engaging with them. They are using page post ads in newsfeed to talk to that fan base. So everything you do on Facebook, just think about why you are doing it. Why are you acquiring fans? Are you going to do anything with them later, or is it going to sit as a number on your page? Because if it's going to sit as a number on your page, don't acquire those fans. If you've acquired them, then engage with them. Look at the engagement metrics on your page as well. And then, obviously, go on to convert them into customers. ASOS, another e-commerce story from the other side of the world, from the UK. This is UK's largest fashion retailer. They've seen 130% higher, they've seen an increase of 130% in purchases in just 4 weeks of running Facebook ads. What they've done is basically, again, they are using fans to reach out to friends of fans. They're running ads with social context, and they are doing it in a very, very micro-targeted fashion. Finally, I'm going to move over to the third stage about loyalty. Now, we've heard a lot of speakers say today, loyalty is still rare in e-commerce. This example is from the US. You could probably find something very similar in India. If you look at the number of percentage of visitors to Amazon.com, the overlap with Walmart, with Target, and with eBay is about 70%. That means everybody is just going to all the websites. So that nobody is really loyal. It's such a competitive marketplace. Yet, you all know loyalty is key to long-term profitability. So start using Facebook at least as a starting point to build that loyalty, because you have all the pieces in place. First, you connect with them by obviously getting them on your page as fans, then engage with them, talk to them in a meaningful manner, obviously in a very prompt fashion if it's in terms of customer service. And finally, use their influence, use their extended reach to reach out to their friend network, to reach out to their, what we call friends of fans. You can do that, you can build loyalty using page-like ads, which will help you acquire new fans, and page-like sponsored stories, which will allow you to leverage that influence I just spoke about. So another e-commerce case study from outside India, OpenSky. And this is a membership-based e-tailer, and they've been using email targeting through custom audiences that I spoke about to basically reach out to their membership base, just page post ads featuring the best-selling product that they think their member base is likely to buy. So this has helped them see about a 30% increase in conversion just based on the rich targeting capabilities. So I think I'm just running out of time. I'm going to summarize. Obviously, we spoke about the different things you can do, but if you look at it in a three-phased approach, you can leverage different marketing solutions on Facebook for the three different stages in the customer life cycle. Acquiring new customers using standard ads, offers, as well as mobile app install ads. Then growing online sales using page post ads in newsfeed. And finally, retaining and building that loyalty using obviously page-like stories, sponsored stories and ads. So I think with that, I'm going to end the presentation. I don't know if I have time for one or two questions. You can email me at simrit@fb.com, or you can also connect with me later after the session. Thanks a lot. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I can project.
Sure.
So, I was wondering, of all the case studies that you mentioned in terms of people who've experienced conversion growth through Facebook, I wanted to ask if, wow, I wanted to ask if any of these people had, was the Facebook traffic funneled to their site and the shopping carts on their sites in all cases? And B, I wanted to ask if Facebook, in the Facebook universe environment, has any, purchase mechanism or app.
Worst case.
Purchase mechanism or
Purchase
app. Or app.
So for the first question, I just want to clarify. So you're saying if the sales are funneled back to their website?
No, what I was asking was, did the sale happen at the website of the company?
Yes, it happened at the website with the company. So in the cases where ROI or conversion data was shared by clients, it was basically where the purchase or the transaction was completed on the e-tailer's website. It's basically using their conversion tracking methodology as well as the different measurement solutions that Facebook offer. That's how they've arrived at those ROI figures. Number two, to your question about whether there is a purchase mechanism on Facebook, there are third-party partners who have built so-called social commerce apps. Right now, there is no Facebook solution for completing a transaction on Facebook unless you're basically using Facebook credits, which is largely used by gaming clients, not by commerce clients. So the only way that I've seen any e-commerce companies complete transactions on Facebook is using third-party.
And those third-party apps are approved, or at least some of them are approved?
Of course, I mean, if they are on Facebook, if they run on Facebook, they've gone through the vetting process. It's just that they are not built by Facebook or endorsed by Facebook in any way.
Thank you.
Not sure if I have... Yeah, we can take that offline. Thanks a lot for your time, everyone.